Kimberly with 2 E's, not an EY. Cruz with a Krues. So Kimberly Cruz, thank you very much for reporting on this. Right. So here's the thing. Doctors, this is a quote, I'm sorry, quote, doctors who fail to inform women that drug-induced abortions may be halted halfway could face felony charges under a bill advancing in Tennessee. Okay, so essentially what that means is induced abortions may be halted halfway could face felony charges under a bill advancing in Tennessee. Okay, so essentially what that means is if you are very early, and I apologize for the how stilted this is going to come out, but there are medical terms involved, and I do not want to get them wrong. So if you will just be patient with me for one moment. Oh, this is so upsetting. I'm sorry. I'm trying to focus, and it's difficult. Okay. So, welcome to Wine and Reason. Tennessee is insane. All right. But you know, most of y'all knew that anyway. Okay. So here's the thing. The initial thing advocates is that doctors tell women, hey, if you take the first part of this medication, but don't take the other part, it might not be entirely effective. And doctors who don't say that, and by the way, any doctor who's a doctor and has any kind of sense and also care for his or her fucking malpractice insurance is going to tell you that. That doctor who doesn't say it could face felony charges. The other thing, though, about the wording of this is it says that doctors who fail, and this is more important than what I just said, as messed up as what I just said is, this is more important. Doctors who fail to inform women that drug-induced abortions may be halted halfway could face felony charges under the bill that is currently in our state house. And that's obscene. That is obscene because, frankly, once you've taken one of these drugs, the only way to counteract them is shots of progesterone, which for most of us, not for all of us, and I'm not going to name any names, but I have had family members who went through this, who had wanted children desperately and had miscarriage after miscarriage, and then come to find out they weren't producing enough progesterone, and all it took was a shot of progesterone, and they were all right. So this is something that is personal to me on both levels. It's personal to me on the level of women's autonomy, and it is personal to me on the level of people in my own family who have suffered the loss of what they thought of, of course, because they wanted them of as babies that they wanted, and suffered those miscarriages. And no woman should have to go through that in this day and age, given the medical care we have available. Also, really quickly, I just want to say hi to Junk Shop. Hi, sweetheart. A bit of tea in Danish. Linda, so good to see you. Thank you so much. Chris, oh my gosh, hi. Stuttering Chris is here. Guys, thank you. I did not plan this at all, and so here's to all of you. This is the wine and reason, and here's to all of you, and then we'll go back to talking about horrible misogyny. But thank you so much for showing up and standing up. Linda, you're amazing. Your husband's amazing. Chris, you're amazing. Junk Shop, of course, you're amazing. I'm biased, but you are. And I just want to say, thank you so much for coming. I did not plan this. I didn't announce it, not even on Twitter. So I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm also very tired because I've been up since 5 a.m. But anyway, not the point. I'm sorry. Okay, so back to my visual aid, which is the Tennessean, and this was published today. So medical groups, this is very important. Quote, medical groups say, sorry guys, I'm really upset. And I had this is like my third glass of wine. I'm sorry. Medical groups say the claim isn't backed up by science, and there is little information about the reverse procedure's safety. So what they're saying is that if a woman goes in to see a doctor and says, I am, I just tested pregnant on a pregnancy test. I'm like 6 weeks along, what have you. I want a medication-based abortion, which is frankly the least traumatic to the woman's body. You take 2 different pills. They're 2 different hormones, essentially. And it basically causes your body to do what it does every month when you're not pregnant, when a zygote does not implant. It causes the uterine lining to thin, and it causes your cervix to open and for cramps to come on, which is exactly what happens every other month that you don't get pregnant in your entire post-menarche life, right? Which, the ladies totally understand. Yeah. Okay. So, but what these doctors are being asked by law, and this is a bill in our state legislature, if it passes, they'll be asked to say this by law. They will be told essentially to lie to their patients, to say, if you just take the first part, and it's not backed by science. And frankly, for me, that's all I need to hear. But apparently our governor, Mr. Bill Lee, does not feel that way. This is a gentleman who has, and I use that term very loosely, who has also said that he's tried to get the quote unquote heartbeat bill, which is, because there's twitching cells that create an electrical pulse at 6 weeks, right? That means that the baby has a heart. No, it doesn't. By the way, it hasn't developed a heart yet. That's a very dense muscular organ. It's not even beginning to develop at 6 weeks along. That is ridiculous. But he is a proponent of this bill, and that is also going through our legislative system in our state at this moment. And it is terrifying. Okay, so the measure, this measure about the chemical abortion, which frankly is the safest and easiest route to go. Essentially, my understanding of it, and I haven't had to make this choice myself. I honestly don't even know if I can have children, or if I was just like the best person at birth control ever. I never wanted children. I'm 42 years old now. I don't have any. I have lots of nieces and nephews, and I love them deeply, and they're amazing. But I'm a great aunt now. I have a great nephew, so that's fantastic. But I never wanted any myself. So I haven't been through this myself, is my point. But the thing is, I don't really care what a woman's motives are or aren't for starting a family or not. That is between her and her doctor. And it shouldn't be between anyone else, because it's our bodies. Our skeletal structure is changed by being pregnant. And one of my nieces, who is studying to be a nurse, and will be graduating soon, expressed this very same concern, because she's absolutely a Christian young lady, and she's like, it changes your skeletal structure. And I was like, yeah, it does. It's like, you might want to think about birth control being okay. But I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, she'll watch this at some point, maybe, and if she does, she'll get mad at me. I'm sorry. Not saying your name. Okay. So anyway, the measure advanced out of the House Health Committee. The House Health Committee that ignores scientific and medical evidence. Great. Now moves to the full House chamber and must also clear the state Senate. So the good news is it still has to do that, this bill. The bad news is, what are we going to do if and when it does? This is yet another attack on Roe v. Wade that conservatives are and Christian dominionists are trying to get to the Supreme Court, right? Yet another one. However, in the GOP-dominated state House, this is bad. This is not a good however. It's a bad however. The bill is likely to be approved by Republicans supportive of abortion restrictions. Governor Bill Lee has also come out in support of anti-abortion measures. And I will say to Governor Bill Lee, I'm going to tell you what I told my daddy when, who I actually love and respect, unlike Governor Bill Lee. And my dad's a feminist, and he is a lovely man. But there was a point in my teenage life when he decided he could have an opinion on the kind of feminine protection I used. And I said, well, Dad, when you have the equipment, you can have an opinion. And that's what I'm going to say to Governor Bill Lee right now. Sir, when you have the equipment to grow and birth a child, and that is no small thing. I mean, all my love to the mothers out there in the world who make, I mean, you know, I'm hanging out drinking a glass of wine. You may be growing a pancreas right now. I don't even know. It's amazing. But with all love to the mothers out there, women must have bodily autonomy. We must have control over our reproductive systems, or we are simply chattel, and that is all there is to it. So, Mr. Bill Lee, unless you grow a uterus tomorrow, I really don't give a fuck what you have to say about abortion. Okay, now having said that, oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff on the stream, so I guess I'll look at it. I should look at it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that to be dismissive, guys. This is weird. I've never done a live stream before. Oh gosh, Linda, it's good to see you too. Angie says hi. Hi, Angie. I love you. You're amazing. Let's see. Yeah, Bill Lee is an idiot, and please feel free to hashtag that. Hashtag Bill Lee, BILLLEE, is an idiot. Yes, he is. Settering Crest, the best aunt. Oh, thank you. I am kind of the cool aunt. I try. I'm the one who will take you to like see musicals and take you to the museum and maybe take you to an R-rated movie if I think I can get away with it. You know, I'll do that. Yeah, I totally do that stuff. Let's see. Oh, and my husband said she really is. That's really sweet. Thank you. You know, on our first date, I told Junk Shop, I think I was 34, 35 on our first date. And I said, hey, like, just so you know, he's a bit younger than I am. So I said, just so you know, if you want to have children, you should know that I do not. And, you know, you might, you know, this probably doesn't need to go any further. And he said, I always thought I'd make a really great uncle. And I said, I can help you with that. I have 8 nieces and nephews. and he burst out laughing. So that was fantastic. And they all adore him. They love him very much, as they should, because he's awesome. Okay. Let's see. I did choose to watch your stream instead of going to bed. Oh my gosh, Linda, I love you. Get your rest, and thank you. That is so kind. Let's see. Stuttering Chris. A woman gave birth to Superman. Another example of badassery. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's amazing any of us grew up. Oh, Dave. Woof. Hi, Dave. Hello, Dave. Love you. No, you weren't late, man. Wait. Sorry, oh, no, he you know what? We're going to stick with late. We'll just stick with that. Anyway, moving on. No problem. Calls of nature happen. Okay. Gosh, this is crazy. You lick Linda, Dave. You just licked Linda. Okay, well, if Linda's fine with that, I'm fine with it. But, you know, her husband's rather fit. I'm just saying. You know, I'm not trying to start any shit. Just I wouldn't get in in his way if it were me. Linda is adorable, but then again, maybe I'm just a bit of a coward, and maybe I'm not as. He is that. Yes, exactly, Dave. Yes, he is that. He's lovely. Oh my gosh, you guys! I did this on the spur of the moment. I've got to be up at 5 a.m. and we just had this stupid, like, okay, Ben Franklin is one of my heroes. This is about to go to a weird tangent, but Ben Franklin is one of my heroes. But the one thing I hate that he invented was daylight savings time because it started Sunday and it wrecks all of us who have to deal with it. It wrecks us for like a week. We're just wrecked because my alarm is going off at 5 a.m. and I'm like, why can't I get out of bed? What's wrong with me? Oh, right. It's because my body realizes that it's actually 4 a.m. Why can't I go to sleep at 9 like I usually do? Oh, because it's actually 8 and I'm not in 3rd grade anymore. It just, the whole thing is ridiculous. And, you know, I get what he was trying to do. Bless his heart. He also invented many amazing things. Hate the freaking daylight savings time. Okay. Let's see. What's anybody else saying? Okay. Junk Shop said they've been in Linda's. I don't know if I want to say that out loud. I kind of do. I'm not. I'm gonna choose the better part of valor and not. All right. So, what other weird shit do you guys want to know about? Dave giggled. It's always good. Yeah, the U.S. is totally fucked right now. Our president, our idiot in chief, went on TV tonight and said that, well, it just really looks like, I'm paraphrasing, by the way, looks like, I can't do a Trump impression, I'm sorry. His voice and his face make my skin crawl, as does the, like, diaper bulge whenever he turns around. I can't deal. And I'm not trying to be ableist there. It's just, he's creepy. Please understand. It's a creepy factor, not an ableist factor. But yeah, so he told us that, yeah, apparently this is the coronavirus or COVID-19 is going to be a pandemic. It's like, dude, we knew this a week ago. I work in an international elevator company. I've been getting emails about this for 2 weeks. Like, you're the leader of the free world in theory. Did you not fucking hear? And of course, if any of you saw his dismal performance at the CDC, where he talked about television ratings more than he talked about the actual virus, and talked about fucking testing kits that we don't have enough of, and all of the doctors and scientists were like, we don't have enough of those, no, wait, and he kept saying, no, it's fine, they're beautiful, they're not fucking we don't have enough, you're gonna have to, and it's not their fault, it is not their fault, this is a new virus, it's brand new, we'll be lucky, absolutely lucky, if we have a vaccine within a year to 18 months, that will be absolute luck and brilliant scientific work on for the scientists who are working on it. Like that is amazing. But you know, in the meantime, wash your hands. You know, don't try to stay 3 feet away from everybody. I mean, you know, stuff's gonna happen. Weird things happening in my town. People are buying up all the toilet paper. What the fuck is that about? Luckily, in our neighborhood, they're not, because our neighborhood is filled with sensible African Americans who are like, the white people are freaking out. Don't worry about it. Just get what we need. So we went across the street to Kroger, and there was everything we needed was there. But I talked to like my white friends who live out in the suburbs, and they're like, all the stores are sold out of hand sanitizer and tissues and toilet paper. And I'm like, that's because you people are crazy. You're like all fucking doomsday preppers. Am I just babbling at this point? Are you all enjoying this at all? I need a little validation to keep going. I don't want to just like, you know, rant at you in my black lipstick and my unwashed hair. Yeah, woke up an hour and a half late today. Angie is the best. Strong agree. Absolutely. What does yes and freezers refer to, Dave? Actually, Joel. Oh, fuck me, Ryan. Juncture die. What person? Is that done? Yep. I do that every time. So what, I thought some retired beans and rice and bought. That makes sense. Refried. That makes more sense. I bought some refried beans and rice and corn and a 5-pound water jug. Oh, fair. That's fair, Chris. I understand. One does not want to run out of staples. Yes, we're enjoying, and people are panic buying freezers. Oh my word. Oh, so Dave, in the UK, people are panic buying freezers? Is that happening? Wow. All right. I mean, no, it's like I don't want to say it's not serious, because it absolutely is. I mean, it's a pandemic. This is serious, and I know everybody is thinking about the 1918 flu and everything they've ever read about it. And absolutely, you know, if we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it, right? So, yeah. But just, you know, so yeah, so just take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, wash your hands, and, you know, do all of the hygiene stuff that we've learned since then, and also do the things that we learned from that. You know, if your company is able to let you work from home and they offer that as an option, do it. Take them up on it. You can do your work in your pajamas. That's a freaking dream anyway. Do it. If your school wants to close and have remote learning via the internet and you have a computer, do it. If you don't, let us know. We'll start a fundraiser. You know, we'll figure out a way. Like, this is all doable. Yeah. Oh, you guys are having so much fun in the chat, and I feel like I've completely lost track of everything. That's okay. It's okay. I can be vulnerable. It's a thing. Don't smoke. It's bad for you. So this is what I tell my nieces and nephews. The oldest of which is 30, the youngest of which is 12. If I catch you smoking, we're gonna have a really serious conversation about COPD and cancer and chronic bronchitis and mouth cancer and everything else that comes from smoking. However, I smoke as a coping mechanism because I have multiple anxiety disorders. So don't do as I do what I say, which I realize is the most hypocritical statement a person can make. But I make it in as much good faith as a person can. Okay. So what are you guys saying? Wow. I really need new glasses. They'll come for the Lego next. No. Oh my God, Dave, I love you. You're hilarious. Yeah, don't we all? Nope, I'm not, no. This is something I hate about live streams, is when people make comments about things in the chat and then they don't say what the original comment was, but I'm totally not doing it. I'm not, repeating what Dave said about missing Legos right after sex. I'm not doing it. Yeah, as you can see, not doing it. All right. All right, where are we? No, not the Lego. No, we would never come for your Legos. You're so lovely. Good, I made it laugh. I'm glad. All right. Guys, give me a new topic. I've got misogyny in my state, but you know, that's just normal. That's just life in the South, as it were, in the southern United States. Y'all want to talk about anything else? Because that'd be great. I am doing an online D&D game on Mr. Oh, Fiddlesticks. Nope, I'm getting the name wrong. Help me out.
Chris the Daily Atheist.
Chris the Daily Atheist. Every Saturday morning at 11 Eastern, 12 Central, and I forget what the mountain time is. We are doing a live D&D game in which I play a very saucy gnome. So, you know, come check it out. It's fun. And One Ring 42 is the dungeon master, and he is amazing. And we're going to colonize a new continent because, you know, that never goes badly. But it should be a lot of fun. We had a fun, you know, pirate kind of ship fight with fish people that I jokingly in game said, oh, I think they're from Innsmouth, you know, and enjoyed that very much. I don't know why I said that in that weird voice. That was weird because my character actually has a very down home, out of the holler southern accent that is not attractive. Yeah, Daily Atheist. So yeah, please check it out if you want. It's 11 or noon Saturday mornings, and it's a lot of fun. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what's happening in the chat right now. Just things are happening. I'm glad you guys are talking. I feel like I could just sit back and do nothing, and y'all would have a great time, and I'd be fine with that. Oh, I have a story. Okay, so a member of my family started following me on Twitter, a religious member of my family, and I didn't know. I didn't know this was happening, and apparently it had been happening for a while. And then, as many of you helped out with and shared and everything, you know, my godson went missing. And so then I got this private message, right, on Twitter. It's like, I'm so sorry to hear about this. And it was very heartfelt and lovely. But I didn't know this person knew that I had a Twitter account. And Twitter was the first place where I came out as an atheist, and where I came out as like, I don't even fucking care anymore. I'm 40 years old. Now I'm 42, but like at the time I was like, I'm 40 years old. I am not hiding who I am anymore from anyone. I don't have that much. There are only so many hours in the day. And this absolutely lovely person who I love very much stopped following me today, and that was awesome because it was weird. It felt really weird. So, have you ever been stalked by religious family on the internet and not known it? Has that happened? Have you been like me, rebellious or dumb enough to use your actual name on the internet? Because that's how that happened. So if you know, if that's a thing that's happened to you, I'd like to know about it. Coming up on Wine and Reason, I'm going to be interviewing a volunteer for Choices of Memphis and Planned Parenthood. She's an abortion doula. She's amazing. She's a good friend of mine. And for those, abortion doula might sound like a bizarre word. You've probably only heard of that in terms of childbirth. So if you haven't, all it means is she's the person who holds the person's hand while they're going through the procedure, and says, squeeze as hard as you want. I'm here for you, and you know, is comforting and trained to be there. This person also spoke in front of the Tennessee State Senate about the 6-week abortion ban. So she's, I mean, you know, we've been friends for a long time, but if she wasn't already a hero of mine, she sure as shit is now. I'm also going to be interviewing my brother, who is an evangelical Christian, and he and I are very close, and we love each other very much. So don't expect some weird, you know, like anger hijinks or what have you. But he says he's cool with it. I I wrote down the questions. I was like, I'm going to send you the questions in advance. Let me know if you have any, if you have any questions or if there's anything you don't want to answer. So just so you know, the format is I've written the questions out, and then he and I are going to have a conversation, and he's going to explain his point of view, and I'm going to explain mine. And it's not going to be about fighting or attacking each other. It's going to be about how we became convinced of, about how I became convinced of the atheist perspective, which is I don't hold a belief in any gods or goddesses, and how he, as he puts it, was dragged into Christianity kicking and screaming, which is interesting. And also, he's my big brother. I love him to pieces. He's always had my back, and he's a great guy. So please be looking forward to that. So those are the two big projects coming up for the channel. Beyond that, I can't tell you when they're gonna happen because y'all know, like, trying to get other people's schedules together is like herding fucking cats. So we'll see how it goes. Is there anything in the chat I need to mention before we get off of here? Is there anything you guys want to do? I see a lot of agreement. Same as me and my husband. Right on, Linda. High five. That's nice. Yeah, that's also nice. I'm so much. Oh, what are you disturbed about, Dave? Oh, my daughter followed me on Twitter yesterday. Says, Dave, I'm somewhat disturbed. Yes, exactly. It is weird. It's a little bit weird because you feel like it's this place where you can completely be yourself, and then, oh, sugar. You know, it's like when one of our nieces found Junk Shop's YouTube channel. That was a little weird because she's been raised in an evangelical Christian household, and she was not pleased with his interpretation of the Bible. But the beautiful thing is, she still loves us both. She still confides in both of us, and she has not treated him any differently. So, you know, that's been very nice. And frankly, honestly, y'all, if all Christians were like that, we'd be bitching about other things. I think we would have more pressing matters. I don't know. Junk Shop and I go back and forth on this. But yeah, that's my, at the very least, my hope is that, you know, most people will be like, this is my thing. Don't care if it's yours. If see us get to that point in my lifetime, I'd be happy. Okay. All right. Looks like things have slowed down. So before I make an absolute fool of myself, I think I'm going to say goodnight. I will urge anyone, I'm going to end this with a call to action. So anybody in Tennessee, if you can call any of our state reps, you know, please do, and urge them to vote no on this bill. It's vile. It absolutely, it not only does it intrude on the rights of people with uteruses. I'm not sure which is correct. I think both are okay. Anyway, doesn't matter. I was an English professor. Didn't take Latin or Greek. Sorry. I took French. Didn't help. So, I will say, it hurts anyone possessed of a uterus, regardless of your gender. Anyone who has a uterus right now, this can affect you. And also, it's going to hurt doctors. Doctors do not need to be charged as felons for giving their patients blatantly false medical information. In fact, it should be the other way around, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it be the other way around? I mean, am I crazy? Is it just me? I don't understand. I cannot begin to fathom the sheer hubris and the willful ignorance of this. That's saying we have done here. But honestly, You'd never catch me in one, but still, I'm not. And it's I have 2 degrees in creative fucking writing. You know, I'm an MFA person. I love Shakespeare. I've got this above all to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any other man. Tattooed on my arm. That's the kind of nerd I am. I'm not a medical person and I'm not a scientist, but to ask doctors and scientists to say to their patients things that are false, patently agreed upon by the scientific consensus to be false. And yes, that is how science works, in case you didn't know. Once it's replicated enough and enough experts have agreed and formed a consensus, yeah, that's how science works. You know who I'm talking to if you're watching this. Anyway, point is to ask them to pay thousands of dollars in a fine and face a felony charge to go against that and lie to their female patients. And also, I want to call to all, I mean, that's insane. Doctors need to be up, not in arms, but absolutely protesting this. And also, so do anyone who has a uterus. I don't care what your gender is. That is your business. Share it with me if you like. I love you. You are who you are. That is beautiful. But if you have a uterus and you can get pregnant, then you need to be protesting this as well. Because women and people with uteruses, do not have a great historical record with the medical community. I submit hysteria. I submit the removal of ovaries to calm a woman. I submit lobotomies. I could go on, but I'm going to stop there before I make myself so depressed I can't sleep. All right, so let's see what's happening in chat. Yup. Okay, not a whole lot. So I think you guys. Critical says, want a hand with what? I don't know. What are you offering me a hand with, Dave? Okay. Oh, good night, Chris. I love you. Good night. All right. Well, thank you all so much. And sorry I nattered on a bit. I really appreciate you showing up, especially with absolutely no forewarning. So you're amazing. I still submit. Dave is freakishly ubiquitous online. He might be God, but he would still need to prove it. So remember, everybody, you can't find truth in wine, but you might find it in reason. Have a good night. Stand against hate, y'all.